If you're someone who struggles overeating, you have these ebbs and flows of sometimes you eat well and then sometimes you don't eat so well. This training's for you. We're going to break down the 3 steps to overcome overeating. I'm Coach Vince. I've been coaching for almost 20 years, and my goal is to help you become the role model your kiddos look up to. So let's dive right into this training. So I want to start off with some very common reasons why people overeat. So we got 3 reasons here. There's plenty more, but I picked the top 3. One is just having a lack of a plan. So when you leave any area of your life to chance, it's very likely to not go how you want it to. So we got to have some plan, whether it's with your relationship, your finances, with your health. We don't want to leave this to willy-nilly. Got to have a plan, and I'll show you how simple we can make this plan. Taking just a couple of minutes each day to sketch out a quick plan with your meals will make all the difference in your long-term success to not only reaching your body composition goals, your health goals, but keeping them long-term. Number 2 is mistaken hunger cues. So drinking enough water throughout the day, especially when trying to drop body fat, is extremely underrated. It's very common for us to mistake the feeling of being hungry with our body, trying to communicate that it's just thirsty. Can't recommend. Making sure that you're staying on top of your hydration is so important to overcoming the mistaken cue of just being thirsty. And then number 3 is just being too restrictive. So we've all tried the crazy fad diets to drop the weight, and they usually require you to be very restrictive. Cutting out all your favorite foods and drinks is a surefire way to fail in the long run. So learning how to have your cake and eat it too is so important for finding the right balance of being healthy and enjoying life. So let's dive into the game plan. Let's crush overeating. So step number 1, the cheat code. So eating 4 times a day tends to work best for most people. Now you can call these meals or snacks, however you want to use the language. I prefer just calling it meals. Have 4 meals a day. So one of those meals could be what you consider a snack, but just for language sake, we're going to say eating 4 times a day. So what we need to do is plan when we're going to eat those 4 times. So ideally, we're spreading them out about 3 to 5 hours apart. And what I like to do and what works really well with my clients is using your bedtime and then working backwards to set your meal times. So use 3 hours prior to bed to plan these meals and work backwards. So planning ahead is an absolute cheat code for long-term success, dropping body fat and keeping it off. When it's time to eat, eat. So when we set these times, that's when you know it's time to eat. And guess what? When it's not time to eat, well, don't eat. And what I like to use is what I call the kitchen is closed mentality, meaning that if you tried to order food from your favorite restaurant, but the kitchen was closed, well, then you couldn't get food. So this mentality helps my brain avoid boredom eating as well. So it's really important to get really quality sleep. We shouldn't be eating right before bed. So most of us are late night eaters, and that's often where our overeating happens, and that's where we get ourselves in trouble. So not only to improve your quality of sleep, but eating 3 hours prior to bed will also help with the overeating side of things. So figure out when you're going to bed, subtract 3 hours, that's when I would have dinner. So if bedtime's at 10 p.m., that means meal number 4 is around 6:30, finishing up around 7 o'clock. Meal number 3 then would be at around 2:30, meal number 2 around 11:30, and meal number 1 around 8 a.m. Of course, these times don't have to be exact, but you do have some leeway with this 3 to 5 hours, depending on when you get breaks throughout the day to eat. But using this methodology of planning your meals, using your bedtime, and working backwards helps tremendously with overeating. Number 2, this will also help really boost up your energy throughout the day, and snacking in between meals adds up fast. So instead, set a rule of no snacking between meals. We know when our meal times are. Instead, what I'd like for you to do is drink 15 to 20 ounces of water between meals. So that means if you're drinking about 15 to 20 ounces between your 4 meals, that would accumulate to around 60 to 80 ounces of water daily. Avoiding snacks and staying hydrated will do wonders for your energy throughout the day, helping to balance your blood sugar. Hunger cues often get mistaken for hydration needs. So we could also add in some salt and a fresh squeezed lemon to help with taste, and you'll also increase your electrolytes. Or you can add in some flavor packets to help as well. Just be aware of any added calories from the flavoring of your packets. So, good idea is most water bottles pre-packaged in a plastic bottle come in 16 ounces. So you'd have 4 of those throughout the day. And then most insulated water bottles, you can buy them as big as a gallon, but typically around 20, 24 ounces is a great way. And you just need to fill this bad boy up. Mine's 20 ounces. I just make sure I fill it up 4 times throughout the day. If you're someone who really struggles with drinking adequate water, set an alarm on your phone if needed will go a long way to ensure you're staying on top of drinking in between meals. And then last but not least is the goal is how do we have our cake and eat it too? Your goal is to drop body fat, but you should also still be able to include your favorite foods, drinks, social events, kids' B-day parties, all those good things. So this is how we're going to do that. If you know that you're going out to eat or plan on indulging in some drinks or some ice cream later on the day, what I would highly recommend is you eat 1 to 2 meals as a protein shake paired with veggies or low-calorie fruit. This will only cost you about 200 to 300 calories, and I'll break this down here for you in a moment, saving you plenty of calories for some indulgences later on. Most dads will lose body fat around 2,000 calories. This leaves you plenty of calories to give your body what it needs while also enjoying drinks, treats, or eating out. So, my coaching philosophy is really big on not eating low amounts of calories, but in fact, eating more calories. And what I mean by more is there's 30 essential nutrients that your body cannot make. So if you're deficient in these nutrients, you're going to struggle with hunger cues, you're going to struggle with energy, you're going to struggle getting body fat off. So making sure that we're eating enough food and truly giving our body what it needs, which is those essential nutrients. But I also think you should enjoy drinks, treats, eating out, all that good stuff. So what this would look like is 2,000 calories. If we had 4 meals, that would be roughly 500 calories per our 4 meals. So meal number 1, your breakfast, aim for having around 500 calories. Meal 2 and 3, we're going to aim for that 230 calorie mark. So that would be 1 scoop of protein. Most protein sources are around 130 calories for a serving. And then I would have 100 calories of fruit or vegetables to go along with that to help give you a ton of volume for low amounts of calories. I would do the same thing for meal 3. If you don't want to do another scoop of protein, I would highly recommend some high protein yogurt instead. And then once again, including that 100 calories of fruits or veggies. I've linked here some veggie options and some fruit options, and what 100 calories would look like. For example, for bell peppers, would be eating 2 bell peppers. If you want to go the fruit side of things, blueberries or raspberries, it'd be like having 3.5 handfuls. So that way you don't have to weigh and measure everything. You can use this cheat sheet below to help you better understand what roughly 100 calories looks like in these easy portable fruits and veggies. So that means meal number 4, if you stay on the 500, 230, 230, meal number 4 could be all the way up to 1,040 calories. This leaves plenty of calories to be flexible with. Just to give some context here, the average fast food meal or sit down dinner without a soft drink or alcohol is about 1,000 calories. So we can see if we're eating out, it'd be a really good idea to bank some calories. So that way you're not going way over the 2,000 calorie mark and you can hit your fat loss goals. So use this cheat sheet here, use this meal planner to help out. Of course, if you want to learn some more, click on the link here, the Dadletic community, learn more about what we have to offer and if we might be able to help. All right, hope this training helps. Now it's time to do the work.